everyone, and welcome back to Cold Waters. I'm Captain Numpty, or David Steele, and here's me boat, and today we are in USS Dallas, SSN 700. She is a Los Angeles class boat, and we are defending the Brits from a suspected Soviet attempt at a strike. Let's jump back in and see what's going on. Okay, not so much to look at right now. We are between the UK mainland and the Faroe Islands. The North Sea is to, let's say, southeast. That's the tip of Scotland. I don't think the Russians will try and invade there because of the Scots. And this is the southern edge of the Faroe Islands. And so somewhere around us, we believe, are the Soviets. I'm just over the layer right now. I'm going to drop below the layer again. We did have something on sonar and it dropped off. Let's just drop below the layer and see if we can detect anything. We'll run...
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Ultra quiet. Weapons today, a total of 16 Mark 48s, 8 harpoons, and a couple of sea lance. I'm still using the sea lance. I might take this modded weapon out. It does have its uses. It's fun to play around with. This is not what they had back in '86.
Passing 300 feet.
Right, I've got myself below the layer. Do we detect anything? So far, the answer will be no. Don't. Well, I'm going to go ahead and rotate ever so slightly. Turn to starboard.
Come right to 279 Helm I.
I think there's something out there. We don't know where they are. So, I think what I'll do, in the interest of keeping this video less than 7 hours long, I'll pause the recording, and I'll be right back. Well, after much trundling around, we finally got something on sonar. I dropped down to 700 feet, and I think we just picked up a Victor 3. So, let's take a look. Yeah, it looks like a Victor 3 to our north.
Con sonar, new contact bearing 341. Designated Sierra 2.
To our northwest, but there's something else out there as well. Now, we did pop up to the surface, above the layer at least. Not quite into the surface. Nothing else there. We're expecting SSGNs. We're expecting nukes. It's raining, of course. I say, of course, it's raining right now, which is possibly why we don't detect much. Well, that's interesting.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
Right. Looks like we may have wandered into sensor range of them. There's another one here now as well, another contact. What's this? Oh, that looks like an Oscar.
Con sonar, Sierra 3 is classified as submerged submarine.
Well, that is interesting. Their limited war between Russia and the UK is so far consisted of a blockade. And these would be very much sent to and reinforce that blockade. Those cruise missile boats are bad news for any ships that are trying to get to Blighty. And yeah, the UK is it's an island. It needs those imports. Right, well, the question is, now we know that they're there. Get away with a standoff weapon. Well, we don't know exactly where they are yet, but for the sake of it, let's go ahead and reload our sea lance. Nothing can hear me. The Victor 3 is about the closest to being able to hear me, but I'm not concerned about that right now. I think in a way I would welcome them hearing me, because it might make it a little easier to engage. But we're going to reverse our course here. We're going to lose contact on them.
Come right to 030 Helm I.
Time. This Oscar's running deep. Okay. I think the Oscar is most definitely trying to avoid any, in their eyes, any Imperial entanglements. Would make sense. That's how they didn't factor on the Dallas. Now, speaking of the Dallas, this is an interesting boat for a few reasons. Number one, it's not the first US Navy boat to be called Dallas. And I've been an interest in the Dallas because I live pretty close to Dallas. Clearly you can tell from my accent. She's the second Dallas boat. The first one was named after a US Navy officer called Dallas. I mean, duh.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
And he was around in the 1800s, I believe. And then this is the first boat, the first vessel to be named after the city of Dallas in Texas. Now, that in itself is, fascinating and all that jazz. She had a nearly 40-year service life. She was decommissioned in I think it was early 2018. I was in the US at that point. And I think 37, 38 years of service. She's the first Los Angeles class to have an all-digital fire control system when she was commissioned in summer of 81. As 1981, she's not that old. So, an interesting boat for a few reasons. Was part of an experimental or development squadron for a period of time. And yeah, I think interesting career. Obviously, like every other Los Angeles, she received a bunch of updates. Never got sea lance, it was never put into production. Which is a shame, but okay.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
The reason why she was never put into production was because the perceived threat was much less from the Russians. Now, I don't know how I'm going to get the chance to use sea lance here, because these bad boys are a little close.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
I'm going to run ultra quiet. Let's accelerate time a bit. This guy's...
Con, helm, steady course.
I think he's going to get a Mark 48 in the face. I think what I might do is get my depth up to 150. I've got sea lance. I kind of like playing around with it.
Make depth 150 feet, dive by.
Quite a lot of fun, and we never know what we're going to encounter that's outside of its 6,000 minimum engagement range. So let's get up to above the layer. Are we going to lose his contacts? I don't think so. Pretty slick sensor suite. He's at less than 2,000 yards. He's pretty dangerous at this range. This Oscar's traveling quick. Yeah, that's exactly where he is. Okay. Everything is way inside the range. I think we're going to have to. Well, I'll see. Are we inside the range? Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and get Mark 48. So it'll make a ton of noise right now, but I'm about to engage because hey, life's too short. He's pretty deep above the layer. But he is going to hear this, absolutely. If not already.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
There's my surprise face, and then this guy, this Oscar.
Con, sonar, launch transient from Sierra
He's further
3.
away than I thought. Okay. Oh, he might not
Con,
be.
dive at 150 feet, dive
Yeah,
by.
that's
Con,
just
sonar,
got
torpedo in the
interesting.
water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 3, 2, 6.
Quick, somebody play the theme song.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Let's make you live.
Passing 200 feet.
I'm turning hard away from the threat. This torpedo is presumably
Con,
coming
sonar,
up.
noisemaker.
Passing 300 feet.
Yeah, it is coming up. So what I'm doing is I'm diving. I'm turning
Passing 400 feet.
away from the Mark 48 that's north. Oh, no.
Con,
Passing 500 feet.
Did my Mark 48 turn around
Con,
and...
sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water.
It
Bearing
bloody
2,
did.
7, 3.
Alright, that closest torpedo
Con,
is
fire control, weapon counter.
Passing 800 feet.
Mark 48 having a go at me.
Con, sonar, regained contact.
Passing 900 feet.
Well, that's just genius. Thanks America. Thanks American torpedo manufacturers. I'm on your side, you numpties. And now we're below test depth. Great.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing
Okay.
2, 8,
That's
6.
3 torpedoes on me. Well, I've been through worse. But, it's not great. Alright, numpty shuffle.
Con, knuckle formed.
Just for good measure,
Con,
we'll drop one
sonar,
of these.
noisemaker. Bearing 2, 9, 3.
Passing 900 feet.
Okay, at least one of these torpedoes appears to be wire guided.
Passing 800 feet.
Which just probably means it's a USET 80, which is very bad news.
Passing 700 feet. Passing 600 feet.
About to
Con,
cavitate.
sonar,
There
we
go.
are cavitating.
Con, knuckle formed.
Okay.
Con, sonar, Sierra 4 is classified as
Put them
submerged
right
submarine.
behind me.
Con, knuckle
Don't
formed.
like the look of this, so we'll drop the depth. Okay, let's reverse the turn and the depth change. That wasn't me.
Knuckle formed.
I don't like it when it does that. That's the action cam that I've not really turned off because I quite enjoy it.
Con
Sort of.
sonar, noisemaker, bearing 316.
Oh, that torpedo's going with
Passing
something
400
deep.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 296.
I think they might have decided to go for whatever they should be going for, which is presumably this
Con knuckle formed.
Victor 3. So I'm gonna decide I'm gonna be somewhere else. Actually, no, we don't want to get
Passing 400 feet.
deep at all. I'm gonna be about the 550 foot
Con
point, I
sonar,
think.
lost contact.
Oh.
Sierra 2, last bearing 316. Contact breaking up.
Something just imploded, it looks like. Charlie 2. I guess it got down to depth. Alright, that's a torpedo that did a
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
Passing 500 feet.
sudden change of heart. Turned back to get at me. That Mark 48 that's now at my 5 o'clock is not doing anything useful.
Con knuckle formed.
I'm beginning to think that this video title should be Debbie Does the Russians Think
Con
It's Horribly
sonar,
Wrong.
no longer cavitating.
Con knuckle formed.
Got something down there. I don't know what that is though. I can guess what it is.
Passing 600 feet.
Just drop my... Let's actually correct my depth change. Let's try and knuckle this thing away from me.
Con knuckle formed.
So it's not having the knuckle. Not surprising, it's at the wrong angle. Gonna do a rapid change right now and a change of depth.
Con knuckle
See
formed.
if that throws it off. It doesn't. So we'll try a noisemaker. That will disrupt its sensors a little
Passing
bit.
600 feet.
And if there's a submarine,
Con
it
sonar, we are cavitating.
should disrupt that
Passing
sensors.
500
But
feet.
no, that hasn't. It doesn't seem to have worked.
Passing 400
It
feet.
has worked. Right. So we're
Con
gonna
sonar, noisemaker.
Passing 300 feet.
dive, dive, dive. We're actually gonna flatten the.
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 245.
Flattened the turnout. There's a lot going on here. Mark 48's decided it wants to chase me
Passing
again.
300 feet.
Thanks. I'm going to try and lead it to that Oscar. Oh, there's a Victor 3 up there now. Where's he going? I don't think so, Sunshine. He's having a bit of a
knuckle
laugh,
formed.
you is. Then again...
Con sonar, lost
Ooh.
contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 256. Contact breaking up.
Yeah, sorry for the very confusing visuals there. Whatever it was, we got the Oscar. I'm being stalked by both mine and the enemy's torpedo. That's just great. Try a knuckle.
Passing 400 feet.
This is bloody close. Right, I should turn towards it again.
Passing 500 feet.
I'm going to turn back.
Passing
Turn
Con sonar,
port.
no longer cavitating.
Passing 700 feet.
Press the descent. Like so. Point the nose more or less north towards the target. Let's see. How away is he? 5,000 yards. So I could use a sea lance on this guy. Right now, I'm not going to slow down. Yeah, I think we'll
Con knuckle formed.
run for a sea lance.
Passing 800 feet. Passing 900 feet.
It looks like Russian torpedo is... Looks like it just blew something up. I probably hit the wreckage on the seabed, so we don't know, don't exactly know where this other Victor 3 is, nor does my Mark 48, which probably means it's outside of 3,000 yards, but I am, unfortunately, I'm not outside 3,000 yards, and so I am now its target again. It's probably
Knuckle formed.
descending to engage with me. Well, actually, no, it's not. It's ascending.
Passing 900 feet.
It was sniffing around the carcass of
Passing
the
800 feet.
Oscar, I think. Let's move away from it as best we
Passing
can.
700 feet.
I want to not cavitate.
Passing 600 feet.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
Okay, so not only is it tracking me now, well,
Con knuckle formed.
attempt to get away from it. Change my depth again. think it's anticipated that, and it
Con
might be
sonar, no longer cavitating.
going after the Oscar. Maybe. What is this thing doing? Just not going for
Passing 700 feet.
what I wanted to go for, which is anything but me. Has it detected something? It looks like it has. Let's zoom in on it. What's it doing? Okay, so it's going after something that I can't detect right now, at least. Okay, I think what I'm going to do.
Con, knuckle formed.
I didn't want to knuckle. Let's head
Come
east.
right to 085. Helm I.
Get my speed
Make
to
depth
5 knots.
150 feet. Dive I.
My depth to
Make
155.
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I. Con, helm, steady course.
So I want to give this Victor 3 sea allowance. 48 lost something. Are you kidding me? Now it wants a piece of me. Let's change that plan then.
Make turns for 3.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
So we're somewhere in the middle of 2 contacts, and we can't detect one of them. It's still being sneaky.
Passing 400 feet.
And the Mark 48 struggling to detect it as well, as it's also being sneaky. Not the Mark 48, the target. So
Passing 500 feet.
whatever it is, we think it's pretty modern. Or it's at the edge of range, maybe?
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Maybe it's an alpha.
Con, knuckle formed.
I modded the alpha to be able to reach their maximum intermittent speed is about 45 knots. Modify the alpha there. And it makes their chances of survivability just
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
that little bit better. It's much harder to hit an alpha with a tiger
Passing
fish.
700 feet.
That's for sure.
Make
Smart
turns
48
for
really has a
2,
taste for me.
0 knots. Maneuvering I.
Passing 900 feet.
Get to our test depth again at 950.
Con,
And,
maneuvering. Making turns for 2, 0
Coming
knots.
right at me. Okay, there's something to my west. Oh, I'm not even doing
3 knots.
33
Maneuvering
knots.
I.
That's numpty of me.
Con, knuckle formed.
That's better. I should really be ascending.
Passing 900 feet.
There we go. Let's get my depth up. Let's get it up above the layer. So 150 foot
Passing
would be good.
800 feet.
I'm actually gonna
Con, knuckle formed.
Con, torpedo room.
Passing 700 feet.
spiral this torpedo self round after this
Passing
torpedo.
600 feet.
If I can stay close to it, let's drop my speed.
Make
No, let's not drop my speed too
Make
much.
turns for 2, 0 knots. Maneuvering I.
If I can stay
Passing
Con
close to
sonar,
it,
we are cavitating.
then
Make depth 150 feet. Dive I.
I'm able to potentially avoid it. Alright, let's get these sea lance out. I'm doing 20 knots, but that's going to be fine.
Shoot tube 3. Aye, sir.
Give him something to think about. And I'm going to attempt to head... yeah, I don't know whether I want to get too close to this Mark 48 or not.
Come left to 0, 0, 0. Helm I.
It's going after something else. Let's take a look. What is it doing? I mean, it can detect something. Well, I can't detect what it can detect.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
And it's deep as well. Whatever it is below the layer. And of course, I'm now above the layer. I think I'm going to have to go ahead and get below the layer again. I'll bring my speed right down to 5 knots. Put myself in ultra quiet mode. The hope here is that I'll be able
Passing
to
200 feet.
detect what
Con
it
sonar,
is.
regain.
Come left to 3, 4, 3. Helm I.
Okay, so Sierra 1 is the Victor 3 is to my west.
Con sonar, regained contact on Sierra.
Passing 300 feet.
Sierra 4 has got these two Sea Lancer tracking at it, and it's in trouble. It's She's in trouble. She's not making any evasive action I can see. There's one strike.
Passing 400 feet.
It's a couple of hits. Now, does that mean she's dead? No. She's
Con,
not.
torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
So I really should chase her down with the torpedo. Now, she might surface. And if she does, I'm going to harpoon her. But let's leave that for now. Let's just concentrate on Sierra 1.
Passing 500 feet.
Yeah, so Sierra 1, whatever this Mark 48 is following, I guess it's knuckled away. It's in my baffles. That's probably why I can tell.
Shoot tube 3.
Oh, you
Aye,
don't.
sir.
I didn't mean to do that. I meant to change my course. Oh, great.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 020.
That may have got their attention.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 279. Contact faded.
Did not mean to do that. And this Mark 48 is now going for the wreckage, I think. Okay.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
I'm gonna send this torpedo up. Torpedo 3 up to go and yeah, I don't consider Sierra 4 to be that much of a threat right now.
Con, helm, steady course.
She's damaged. She's heading away from me, but she's moving at 26 knots, so she's probably up to flying speed. My Mark 48 will struggle to catch that. And it will catch it. It'll just gonna struggle. So I think what we'll do is we'll loiter here. We'll see if we can get a better. See if we get something on the Victor 3 to my west, Sierra 1. Maybe we'll just ping active.
Con sonar switching to active search.
Let's do that. What's the worst that happens? Sierra 1 might fire upon me, and I'll get his location. That'd be nice. Right. She's pinging me. She fired. I don't know where she is. Okay.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 4.
Sierra 4 fired. Oh, okay, Anna. That's fair enough. Probably should have expected that. So we'll send a torpedo her way because
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
we're US Navy. Let's do that. More torpedoes being fired by Sierra 1. That was very subtle, but I did definitely hear it. So I am going to do a little wheeze. I'm going to look at torpedo 3. Can torpedo 3, what was this fired at me? Nope. So something...
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 276.
Okay, there you are. Well, this puts me in a bit of a spot of bother.
Make turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Get my speed up. I'm going to reverse my course.
Come left to 166. Helm aye.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 274. Contact faded.
Okay, Sierra 4's turning away. Sierra 1 I've lost contact, which I'm not that surprised at. So, the Sierra 4, he will be moving at flank speed. He'll not be able to guide his torpedo.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 4, last bearing 033. Contact is in the baffles.
My hope here is that I'll be able to evade. Let me go against my better judgment and run to flank. Well.
Con sonar, we are cavitating. Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
So I'm going to run to flank and I'm going to escape southeast. And the reason there is
Con, fire control. We've
Con, helm, steady course.
I'm bored of being chased by my own torpedoes or by enemy torpedoes. So we're going to run away. And the hope is that that's all we really need.
Con, fire control. We've lost the wire.
So we're punching out of here. We are heading southeast. I will pause the recording. I'll be right back when there's something more interesting going on.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 030.
Okay, a little bit more interesting now.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 4 bearing 030.
So Sierra 1's torpedoes pretty much anticipated where I was heading, and he didn't guide them after the fact. Sierra 4, he did more or less the same thing.
Con,
and
helm, steady course.
he didn't guide his torpedoes either, so I've managed to relocate some 4,000 yards to the south. Sierra 4 is threatened by my torpedo. He's dropped a couple of noisemakers and performed at least one knuckle. Now Sierra 1, I don't know where he's gotten to. Well, actually, I can see he's headed south from his pings, but that's all I can tell. I'm gonna...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing.
Come right to.
Okay.
0,
I got
0,
04.
0. Helm aye.
The threat to the northeast has gone. Now the threat to the west, I think right now, I don't know where he is, so I don't really want to get too close to this torpedo tracking south
Come right to.
west.
033. Helm aye.
So we'll go ahead and turn northeast. I'm going to accelerate time and keep the video going, I think. See what happens.
Con sonar
There
regained
you are.
contact on Sierra 1 bearing 276.
So he basically noped out of there, which I am not really surprised. I think I'd have done the same. Head north. It's probably still, yeah, he's... I reckon he's flank speed. There he is. Pretty good location on him. This is where a standoff weapon could be very useful, but I think it was to tackle Sierra 4. He's not decided, he's not going to turn around, and I don't think... there he
Con
goes.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 262. Contact faded.
I'm launching a torpedo, but I'm actually going to dogleg it round to the north, like so. Right, because we really want to get this guy.
Shoot tube 4. Aye, sir.
Dogleg another one, but dogleg that one round to the south. Now I'm firing the torpedoes away from the enemy, and the hope there is that my hull will hide some of the bursts of noise that you get with a compressed gas launch of a torpedo. So we'll dogleg this thing around the south. We don't want to run it into our submarine. No, it's the torpedo, and the other one is already swinging its way out of here. So we'll do that. What I'd like to do is kind of pincher this torpedo, this enemy submarine as much as I can. So we'll delay number 3 a little bit. I'll zigzag it across. Good chance that he's heard this, but if he hasn't, this is going to be a pretty effective pincer, I think. So let's position him. Position this torpedo launch to be there. Sorry, destination even. What I'm doing is I'm telling the two torpedoes to go north of the expected target and south. Now he was heading southwest originally. He's likely turned northeast. And I don't know where he's going to be, so I think he's going to be closer to torpedo 3 than torpedo 4. But I'm not really sure. I'm going to turn a little bit west. The hope here is that we'll pick something
Come
up.
left to 339. Helm aye.
No sensor, but so far nothing.
Con, helm, steady course.
I don't know where he is. Not even a clue. If he detected the launch, I would have expected him to have just bugged out of there. But he may not have done. Oh, there we go. Okay. So he's detected something and he's pinging. We might pick him up in a few seconds. Especially if he turns and runs. It looks like he's maybe a little way north of his location. So 3 could be our kill shot and 4's the follow-up. Could be. Accelerate time a little. Gonna turn 4 active, seek mode, and also active sonar. See if it flushes him out. See, he might make him panic. He's some distance away, but might make him panic. He might just decide to show his location and punch up the speed. Yeah, he's heading north. Just make this go in a straight line, and I think what I want to do, I'm going to try it. I'm going to ping actively.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Don't think we're going to pick him up at this range. US submarines' active sonar is not as effective as the Soviets' active sonar. Our passive sensors are better, but our active sensors are worse. But here the intention is not necessarily to actually find him, it's just to flush him out. I got nothing. Well, let's reduce my depth. I think 3 has now gone active. Well,
Con, fire control,
there we
weapon
go.
acquired.
Okay, so 3 is looks like he's shallower. It's like 4 was not a million miles away.
Passing 900 feet.
Or on this collision course, the center of 3's sonar sensor cone. Alright, for the sake of it, we'll ping actively with Torpedo 3. Yeah, so he's that little flashing purple-blue thing. We're not getting a good lock on him. Turn that off. But the sensor ping will sometimes bounce it back and comes down the wire, and I get a better idea of where he is.
Passing 800 feet.
Keep turning off my active sonar. I'm going to do a little sneaky cheat, and let's see what 3 can see. It's not fired at me, I don't think. Nope, and middle of the screen, more or less, is Torpedo 4, which is the other side of the pincer movement here. Oh, 3 is turning to follow. So if we don't kill him with one torpedo, we might get him.
Passing 700 feet.
The second one is going to be ripe for the kill, because it's already in the vicinity. And it's got 7 minutes of fuel left. Torpedo 3. 6.5. So the bottom left shows the torpedo computer, that little set of numbers. Weapon data shows number 3. It shows its course, its range, and bearing. And then the very bottom, TTR.
Passing 600 feet.
Guess I'm not sure what R stands for. Time to run out, maybe. Time to run. 6 minutes left of fuel, essentially. And at a 6-minute point, it blows up. This thing isn't turning hard. Okay, we struck
Con
him.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 266.
Struck him, but we didn't kill him. And now Torpedo 4, 6 minutes of fuel
Passing
left,
500 feet.
is on the way to complete the job. Let's jump to Torpedo 4 and we'll watch the chase here.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Right, so it's acquired him, and he's diving, or he's sinking. We don't know for sure. Oh, he's diving very quickly. I wonder if he's about to
Con
implode.
sonar lost
Yep.
contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 267. Contact
So
breaking
we
up.
didn't need the second torpedo. I'm going to go ahead and dive this one into the ocean bed. We don't need to kill what's not there. Right, well I think that just about finishes today's mission. Thanks so much for hanging out. That was fun, and I hope you got something from that. So thank you to the Dallas. We
Con,
appreciate
torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
your 37 years of service. I hope you enjoyed this. You know what to do if you have. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.